Our second contestant will be Madam Toastmaster Catherine Gundani. Madam Toastmaster Catherine Gundani. Our third speaker will be Toastmaster Mohammed Razik Parakandi. Mohammed Razik Parakandi. Our fourth speaker will be Viswaraj Mariappan. Viswaraj Mariappan. Our fifth speaker will be Toastmaster Ramachandran. Toastmaster Ramachandran. Our sixth speaker will be Toastmaster Rakesh Wasnik. Rakesh Wasnik. Audience, please now give them a big round of applause. Come on, this is how you start. Upon being introduced, the contestant shall proceed immediately to the speaking position and speak from the designated area, which I shall show. Time will begin with the contestant's first definite verbal or non-verbal communication with the audience. This usually will be the first word uttered by the contestant, but would include any other communication, such as sound effects, a stage act by another person, etc. Timer, please display the time device. The green light will be turned on at 5 minutes and remain on for 1 minute. The amber light will be turned on at 6 minutes and remain on for 1 minute. The red light will be turned on at 7 minutes and remain on until the speech is concluded. No audible device such as a buzzer shall be used for the overtime period. And in the event of a technical failure of the signal, a speaker is allowed 30 seconds extra overtime before being disqualified. Prior to announcing the results, the chair will announce any time disqualification, if any, but will not name the contestant or contestants involved. Protests will be limited to judges and contestants. Any protest will be lodged with the chief judge and or contest chairman prior to the announcement of the winner and alternates. All the decisions of the judges are final. Now, let me introduce you to our elite panel of judges for this contest. Judges, you will not need to stand up. Audience, please hold your applause till I announce all the names. The chief judge in this contest is Swaminathan, who is assisted by an eminent panel of judges. Can the audience please give him a big round of applause? Allow me to introduce you to our timers, our tally counters, and sergeant-at-arms. Role players, please stand up whilst your names are called up. Audience, please hold your applause till I announce all the names. For the timers, we have Toastmaster Shanavas and Toastmaster Salfika Ali. For the tally counters, we have Toastmaster Ram Raj and Toastmaster Dinesh Joseph. For the sergeant-at-arms, we've got Toastmaster Arun Manikandan and Toastmaster Adele Hassan. Now, the rules for the audience. Now for the rules for the audience. Please do not use your mobile phones whilst in the room and keep them either switched off or in silent mode. During this speech contest session, members of the audience are requested not to enter or leave leave the room when a contestant is speaking. This is to ensure that speakers are not distracted in any way. Please maintain absolute silence during the entire session, including the time when the judges are marking the ballots. Sergeant-at-Arms, please note that the audience has been requested not to enter or leave the room when a contestant is speaking. Is the Chief Judge ready?
Yes.
Judges ready? Timer?
Yes.
Audience, you are ready?
Yes.
No. I didn't hear.
Yes, we're ready.
Please.
I shall now call on our first speaker, Toastmaster Arun Kumar Balakrishnan, with the title, Take That Tea Out. Take That Tea Out by Toastmaster Arun Kumar Balakrishnan.
Are we audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a time where I used to wear a tag like this. The tag of shame. Failed. Rejected. Contested, fellow Toastmasters, and little panel of judges. The day on which I failed to the worst, my father woke me up and told me, "Dear son, failure is not about falling. The reluctance to come up. Today, I have a secret key for you to unlock that key for the success. You need to go up to the peak of the mountains and go and get. I started my journey towards the roads of the success. In the bottom valley of the big mountain, I could see the legends, Mahatma Gandhi, Sheikh Said, Elon Musk, and next. They are all talking me all about. See, if you want to succeed, you want to be a model. If you want to go ahead, you need to think of, come up with ideas, how this works in your mind. You need to prove yourself and you need to flow against emotions. Don't flow along with the frogs. Spread your eyes, spread your wings, and flow up to the peaks. They gave me an eye that made innovation. I started my journey. On the way, the greenery's old window, I couldn't see. The widow was over there, and the ways and pathways that turned into narrow roads of hardship. On the way, I have been pushed back by the people who surpassed me. I couldn't proceed. When I yelled for the help, there were no one to assist me. Suddenly, I could see someone just fighting on my back, and I am Rohan and when you stand here as a failure, I was there in your position long back. I had been getting rejected and rejected whenever I tried to grab an opportunity. I have been pushed out whenever I knocked the doors of opportunities. So, what you need to do today? You need to have be confident. Be confident in you. Realize yourself. I prove everything wrong. And the way I did. If the world can recognize me as Mr. B today, what will you do? I continue not much. I can see the peaks near to me, all the minutes waving the hands and calling me, come on. But I'm tired. My legs are paining. My throat is dried up. What I can do? I just remember the words and treasure what my father gave me. Stephen Hawking, best example. Here of positiveness, we can see he did wonders. Not by writing this book with his hands, but with his face expressions and eye movements. This is the best example of attitude. And the last, this person I love him about. Never, he says, never give up. Never give up. Try your heart. I took that into my mind. Finally, I could find out that factor for the success. To unlock, when I look in the horizon, I can see the secret of success. But we need to take that deep out. Can you read that for me?
I can.
Oh.
Please allow 1 minute silence for the judges to mark the ballots. Our next speaker Madam Toastmaster Catherine Gundani, with her speech title Cocoon of Life. Cocoon of Life by Madam Toastmaster Catherine Gundani.
A fresh, gentle breeze as I sat on my front porch. The wind carried a song for the trees in my garden and even the flowers on my front porch. But as I gazed at one of the flowers, underneath one of the leaves, I was mesmerized by what I saw. A cocoon broke, and out of this cocoon emerged a beautiful butterfly. And I gazed at it as it took off into the wind on its new journey. Contest chair, honorable judges, Toastmasters and guests. What I had just witnessed was the break of a new dawn. It took me aback to when the butterfly was still just a caterpillar. I looked at my life and those around me and realized that in some way we are still just caterpillars in our lives. We are building our cocoons to finally emerge as beautiful butterflies. The cocoons that you're building, this is the hard work that you're putting in, the new knowledge, the new skills, the new abilities that you're out to acquire. These are your cocoons. From this cocoon, you emerge as a beautiful butterfly. I'm not going to lie to you. This doesn't come easy. You will face challenges along the way. Some of these challenges may come from your family, from your friends, from your colleagues, or even from your know-it-all neighbors. You know, they know everything about everybody, good or bad. But that doesn't matter. We have a way to go around it. You know, just like a caterpillar builds its cocoon out of strong material, layer after layer after layer, and then hides it so that the predator doesn't come. This is the same way that we can take for our own lives. In 3 simple steps that I'm going to show you. The first one is called layering. Now, layering means you are piling up. You are doing much more than you were doing before. And with that, you actually create a barrier. And you can no longer hear the voices of the opposition. A few years ago, I decided to take on a license in my field. My own family was against the idea. The situation that we had back home did not make it any easier. It just didn't make any sense. Why, this money could be used for something else. But I knew that with this license, my future was brighter than it was at that moment. I did something. I enrolled myself in yet another license. This became my cocoon layer. And with that, I stopped hearing the voices of the opposition because I knew what I had invested. Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at a qualified aircraft engineer. Well, not only here in the Middle East, but also in the whole of Europe and other territories. That's practically half the world. And the second one, this is called disguising. Not everyone should know about your dream, your goal, or your vision until it is too late for them to do anything about it. I mean, I had an experience with one of my neighbors. He was my best friend. Here I was, walking in my neighborhood, looking for a need so that I could meet it. And eureka! I found one. My own neighborhood did not have an entertainment center for the children. So I decided I was going to build one. So I ran to my friend, excited. and shared the good news. He was just as excited. I did not have the capital to start this project, so I moved to neighboring South Africa so that I could build on my capital. 3 months later, on my usual calls back home to check on my mother, she excitedly tells me that the neighborhood now has an entertainment center. I didn't build it. Who did? The first thought that came to my mind was that someone else must have had the same dream and they beat me to it. But then my mother said, "You know your friend, our neighbor. He's the one who owns it." Ladies and gentlemen, it was like a crush to the heart. I felt like my cocoon had been compromised and the predator was free to come in. I learned the hard way on this point. But nevertheless, it has never happened again. I learned my lesson very well. The third one is anticipating. Look forward to the result. Look forward to your dream, to your vision. Look at the light at the end of the tunnel. I gave you an example of how I received multiple licenses at the same time. My anticipation was not only the increased responsibilities I was going to receive at work, but it was also the increase in the salary. Ladies and gentlemen, with these three, layering, disguising, and anticipating, we are so sure to see that caterpillar in you move into its cocoon, strong and layered, hidden from predators, and finally emerge as a beautiful butterfly, which the whole world will admire. Contest you.
Please allow 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Our next speaker,
Check.
Toastmaster Mohammed Razik Parakanti, with the speech title, "Use It Before You Lose It." "Use It Before You Lose It" by Toastmaster Mohammed Razik Parakanti.
Contest chair, judges, fellow Toastmasters. How many of you had a situation where your kid came to you and he or she said, "I want to play with you," and you said, "I'm busy"? A situation where the kid had a toy from the Kinder Joy toy with chocolate, and he or she needs an assistant, and you were busy with pending office works, busy with watching TV, checking your Facebook, busy with Toastmasters, and busy with nothing. If you ask yourself, are you spending enough time had you spent enough time when the kid was growing up? I recently read a story on the Facebook. It was about a conversation between a dad and a son, a 6-year-old son. The dad was having his breakfast during the weekend, and the kid asked the dad. I'm sure you all have you have faced this question if you had a kid. Dad, how much do you make a day? Or how much do you earn a day? Do we give right answers? And the dad didn't want to respond. And he repeatedly asked him that question. And finally the dad said, it's 100 dirhams. The kid went back, came back after 30 minutes with a broken piggy bank and said, this is 98 dirhams. I'll give you 2 dirhams later when I get it. Can you spend a day with me? When I read this story, I really felt so guilty myself. Because in my career, I can proudly say that I've achieved whatever a person of my caliber could achieve in this kind of time. I was so busy working in the weekends, working at home, in the evenings. But I was in the same shoes of that dad. So I went back home. I thought let me just correct myself. It's not too late, because my son is 14 years old. And I asked my son, his name is Aman, and I called Aman, Aman, can we go out this weekend? And he told me, I'm busy, Dad, I have some plans with my friends. I remember when he was young, he used to come to me quite frequently and tell me, it's so boring, Dad, can we go outside, can we play? And I used to tell him I'm busy. When he needed me, I was busy. When I needed him, he's busy. And we always, if you look at yourself, how do you talk to the kids, or how we talk to the kids? Remember the day when the kid was six months old. You were, let's say, 30 years old. Your son or daughter is 6 months old. How did you speak to them? You did not speak like an adult. You came down to a child's level and talked like a child. You came down. After a few years, you're 35, your son is 5 years old. Now you're asking your son to speak like an adult, think like an adult. When did we stop going down and talk like to their level? My son Aman got 7 warnings from the school for not cutting his hair. And I used to argue with him to cut his hair, but now I'm kind of trying to adjust his hair since 2018, since I realized this problem, so that he can somehow cheat the teachers. He doesn't look so, it's almost 6 times of my hair. That's his hairstyle. And when I have a haircut, I used to ask him, how's my haircut? And he said, you call this as a haircut? When he was young, he lost the wheel of his toy car, or the wheel cup of his toy car. And he came to me and he said, can you help me, Dad? I lost the wheel cup of my toy car. And I said, come on, this is silly. I didn't realize that for a kid of that age, losing a wheel cup of a toy car was a big thing, because I was talking like an adult. And I wanted him to think like an adult, that wheel cup of a toy car is not a big deal. And it's not about, and again, recently I asked him, every other night he used to ask me, Dad, can I sleep with you tonight? And I used to say, I'm a night person, I work at night mostly. And recently I asked him, after realizing my mistakes, Aman, can I sleep with you tonight? And he said, are you crazy? And now I'm correcting myself, and it's not about The best thing you can do to your kid is give them a good childhood. They're not asking for anything, they're just asking for your time. They're just asking for your time. And one thing you cannot get back is your kid's childhood. And it's not about giving them something. This is the way you update yourself. How many of you have Instagram? Very few. If I ask you how many of you have emails, and if you say I don't have an email, come on, the same way the new generation is looking at us, and he just created me an Instagram. I'm learning from him. And I have a young kid, 5-year-old son, and now I know what are the favorite videos he watched. I watched Ryan Toys review with him, I play with him, and I recently realized that, recently realized that several of the things I do are outdated. So it's the time for updating my operating system. So you get old very quick if you don't spend with your kids. So the question here is, use it before you lose it. Thank you very much. Over to the stage.
We have 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark the ballot. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Viswaraj Mariappan with his speech title, Paragon of Virtue, Moral Minds. Paragon of Virtue, Moral Minds by Toastmaster Viswaraj Mariappan.
Am I audible? Is it clear? Am I audible now?
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Thank you. You or I are unique and special. Is it because we are humans? Physically, humans and animals breathe, eat, sleep, and reproduce. Then, what makes us unique and special? The paragon of virtue, the capacity to understand, feel and show moral values is uniquely human. Understand, moral-minded humans. We are born to live a happy and meaningful life. We can lead a meaningful life only when we can differentiate between right and wrong and choose to do the right thing over and over again, even if it is hard. Unfortunately, many in this world fail to choose the right thing to do, to gain short-term benefits and pleasures. Albert Camus, the famous French philosopher, said, "A man without moral and ethics is a wild beast loosed upon this world." When I was a child, one day, me and my father went to a grocery shop. After finishing the shopping, while returning home back, my father noticed that the shopkeeper has given an excess of 25 paisa by mistake. The 25 paisa It's a small denomination of Indian currency, like 25 fils. My father walked back to the shopkeeper and gave him back the 25 paise. After watching my dad's behavior, I asked him, Dad, it was just 25 paise. I don't think the shopkeeper would have noticed of giving you that 25 paise. Nevertheless, the 25 paise will not make him rich, irrespective of what you give or no. My father looked at me with a concerned face and said, it is not about monetary value, my dear son. It's about moral and ethics, which is invaluable. That is what makes us as human. For me, wrong is wrong, even if everybody is doing it. Right is right, even if no one is doing it. He continued saying, the quality of our life is not dependent on personality, wealth, intelligence, or social acclaim. It depends on demonstrating moral values, which is essential. That was the day my life was transformed into moral and ethics value. Years passed, I became a father. One day my daughter came to me and said, Dad, my friends are inviting me to join for the movie. Should I go? After reading some reviews about the movie, I said no. Because the movie contains violence, nudity, and portrays immorality as being normal and acceptable behavior. She was disappointed. But you know, the younger generation won't give up. Dad, the movie is 2 hours long. Those scenes are just few parts, only few minutes of the entire movie. I said, good child. If I give you your favorite food, very well cooked with tiny bit of dark food, along with the best organic ingredients, will you accept and eat? With an annoying face, she said, what? Dad, are you mad? Dad, what? Who will accept to eat? No, I will not accept. My dear child, for the same reason, I won't allow you to watch that movie. You won't tolerate little bit of dog poop in your food. So why would you tolerate little immorality in your movies? That was the day my daughter's life was transformed into moral and ethics value. Friends, while many strive to become the person of success in life, they fail to become a person of value. If we don't become a person of value, we will not be able to go far in our life, how hard we try. We will be like this tissue paper. But if we become a person of value by holding one moral value, 2 moral values, more, we would be able to go far in our life very easily like this. Finally, friends, whatever is true, noble, pure, right, if anything is excellent, praiseworthy, think about such things. That is what we meant to do. As Aristotle said, I have gained this by philosophy. I do this without being ordered, what some are constrained to do by the fear of the law. Let us be a moral-minded person. Let us be a human with moral values for to consider.
Can we please have 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots?
audible? Audible? Am I audible to you all?
Yeah.
Our next speaker is Toastmaster Ramachandran with his speech title, Yes Please. Yes Please by Toastmaster Ramachandran.
Be like a rose petal where kindness is concerned. Act like thunder where principle is at stake. Contest chair, one of the judges, fellow Toastmasters. I heard these words of Vivekananda at a very young age, but it took me many years to understand the very meaning of those words. As a child, I was taught to be nice to people, and most of my waking hours were spent pleasing others. Do you understand? Yes, ma'am. Do you like boiled carrots for lunch? Yes, ma'am. Can I have some of the sandwiches? Yes, buddy. Yes, please, Central. But when I looked around some of those people, they did what they wanted to do. They said what they had in their mind. And these were the people, surprisingly, who were popular, who were respected, even loved. But somehow, I felt responsible to please everyone around me. Yeah, there were times when I wanted to dance in the rain, I wanted to whistle in the class, I wanted to slap that guy who was tugging on my tie all the time. But no, I was made to believe that the right thing to do was to smile on your face all the time. What I did not realize at that time was there was some part of me that was dying. I got the first jolt of my life when I hit college. You know, love shakes you up beyond your senses. And there was this girl in my engineering batch. Beautiful, charming. And the only way I knew how to win her over was to be extra nice to her. So I shared all my notes with her, I escorted her to places, but I still kept a distance. Fear of rejection. And then one fine morning, I found out that she was actually dating someone else. You know, friends, believe you me, there was a sense of relief for me. And that day I realized a very important thing. When you tend to have a resentment to the person whom you're trying hard to please. My college over, I was in my first job. It was a very challenging task. In fact, as a project manager, I was against a deadline. The problem was much bigger. It was my boss. He was a terror in every sense of the word. There are some people, you could do 99 things for them, they will still pick up on that one thing that you've not done for them. And so, I went around hiding from him, all the places, and eventually he would grab me. And there were only two words that I could tell him, yes sir, yes sir. There was one day, I walked up to him, put a plan that I'm going to complete this project 1 month ahead of schedule. In fact, I actually ended up doing that and I won his respect. But the important point was this, I realized the most important failure in your life is when failing to be yourself. I attended management classes in the evening. One of the professors during one of the sessions asked us all a very simple question. Do you love the smell of money? Do you feel the touch of money? And first, we are all looking at each other. Oh, what are you doing in my class? The point he was trying to make is, our own aspirations should take priority. The disease to please is actually holding us from taking decisions. The most difficult thing for anyone in this world, in terms of maintaining relationships, more so on the work front, is at the home front. Families, as we all know, their relationships, And problems of the family is invariably my own problem. It's our own problem. Whether I'm in the role of a son, a father, or a husband, it's very natural for me to please everyone around me. No conflicts, no confrontations, simply say yes. But then the unthinkable happened with me. One fine morning, my father was diagnosed with terminal cancer. There was only one shot of chemotherapy that was allowed. All my relatives, with all the good intentions, were doing actually more harm than good. For the first time in my life, I realized it was very important to say no to a certain section of people. I took my dad, isolated them from them, put them into the hospital, took them through 5 chemos. Grace of God, he's as normal as anyone else. But the point I realized at time is this: we all have to set our natural boundaries. When there is someone who tries to infringe on our space and time, say no. But it's very important to be kind to people, and that's what my parents have always taught me. More than success, more than ambition, it's very important to be kind to people. But certainly I realize it doesn't mean that I've got to be a people pleaser all the time. In fact, there's only so much time that we have, that we can afford to assist others. It is up to us to set where we have to stop. And the only way to go about with that is to draw from your own self. Am I seeking approval or acceptance from the person in front of me? Or my desire to help someone is coming from an innate place of abundance? I must love what I'm doing. I'm not a doormat that anybody can come in and take advantage of me. If I'm doing good, it's got to come out from a state of abundance, from a state of harmony, with emotions of love. When I reflect back today in terms of what Vivekananda said, it makes a lot of sense. Be like a rose petal where kindness is concerned. Act like thunder where principle is at stake. Over to you, Rose.
Can we please have 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots? Our next speaker will be our last speaker for the day.
Check. Am I audible?
Yes. Toastmaster Rakesh Wasnik with his speech title Reinvent. Reinvent by Toastmaster Rakesh Wasnik.
We are at the beginning of new and the most powerful technological evolution, which is fundamentally going to alter the way we think, the way we stay, the way we work, and the way we relate each other. The transformation will not be the same as we have seen in the past. We still don't know how things will unfold. But one thing is clear. We have to reinvent to survive in the new future world. Pundits chair, chief judges, Toastmasters, good evening to all of you. The new Industrial Revolution 4.0 is unique mainly because of the pace at which breakthrough is happening and simultaneously in the field of education, transport, health, energy. 2 decades back, we may not have realized the impact of internet on our life. It is unbelievable. Things are happening at lightning speed. I have a daughter. She is going to be 6 next March. Like any other kid, when she is at 4, she learned use all gadgets. She is very smartly handling smartphones, tablets, everything. She Google download all kind of comedy shows, cartoon shows. She knows how to use everything, smart gadgets. But there is one thing is different. When I put her to the dance class, to the karate class, even after 1 year, she is struggling. The answer is very simple. Effort. Some skill needs effort. Some skill need time. They are not as easy like the click of a button. The today's generation, they are habitual of doing things at the pace they think that everything is available at the click of button. And when they try to do something which is not doing it the way they think, they become frustrated. They become irritated. And sometimes they lose confidence. This is not good. Today, we have new tools for gossiping. You must be knowing it, what I am hinting at. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We spend hour and hour on those virtual worlds. But no one is blamed. No one is to blame for that one. But in true word or crude word, it is a highly addictive. And one of the most amazing thing about this addiction is there is no age limitation. There is no age restriction like we have in smoking, drinking, gambling. So the entire generation has a free access to this addiction. And addiction never does anything good for us. It is not, whatever time you're spending on those, it is not going to get any skill. I just want to tell you that low skill and low education is the most vulnerable people, and they will not have any place in the near future world, because all those low-rank jobs will be wiped out because of automation. Friends, what I want to tell you, we have no choice. We have no option. The technological breakthrough will keep on happening. There is no way you can stop it. But one thing you can do, reinvent yourself. Try to strike a balance between life and technology. The kids are the most powerful, intelligent people who are growing in this cutting edge technology. Parents need to understand and channel their energy so that can become a real, or they can become a real person in the future world. The student needs to understand that spending time on this virtual world technology is not going to gain any skill which will be useful for giants like Facebook and Google. The professional, they have to think differently. Creativity, innovative. Why we are doing this, all those things in the month of this February? Innovation. Because you have to understand that the future lies in innovation and creativity. Technology, we no doubt has endless benefit. But in the real world, in the future world, it is not that the big fish is going to eat a small fish. It is the fast fish going to eat a slow fish. Over to Toastmasters.
We will now have 5 minutes of silence. I shall now call upon the contestants to come and receive their speech contest certificate of participation in speaking order.